4. So good morning, welcome at Trailhead DX Day 2, and welcome to this session, Add Intelligence to Any Salesforce App with Einstein Discovery. Before to start the session, of course, I have to show you the slide, the beautiful slide. Sometimes we show features that are not really in the product, but so just base your purchase on the existing features. Luckily, today, we are mostly going to show you GA feature, I think, right?
That's right.
OK, so you should be safe. My name is François Lepiteau. I'm product manager at Salesforce. I'm working on Einstein Analytics and most focusing on Einstein Discovery. And
My name is Katie Gannon. I'm excited to be here at my first Trailhead DX, and I'm on the product marketing team for Einstein Analytics.
so what we want to speak about today is really like the shift, the fact that as a consumer, you are using applications every day which have intelligence embedded to it. So without knowing it, when you open your mobile phone, your Android, your iOS, or you open your desktop, you go to your favorite website, you have like intelligence that are like embedded, transparently used to offer you a better experience, right? So like some example of that, when I go back home, like tonight, most probably I will be exhausted. I will be super happy but exhausted. I will jump on my couch and I will go to Netflix, right? And on Netflix, it's going to recommend me what are the best show I should go for it. And Netflix is very smart. It's learning from what I watched before, learning about the note I'm giving to the show, and it's going to give me then the best choice of what should I look at to have the best experience. So for example, here, you can see that Netflix recommend me Gilmore Girl with a 92% match, which is pretty high, which is actually my true Netflix picture. So I really like Gilmore Girl. It's a really cool show. And do you like it, Gilmore Girl?
Maybe if you bring the popcorn, I'll join.
OK, thank you. So really exciting because here, based on what I like, based on what is used, Netflix is going just to show me what I liked about watching. Next one, if you go, for example, on an Apple application like Tinder, right? Same way, based on your characteristic, based on who you are, based on what you swipe right, swipe left. I don't use this app, right? Just saying. It's just an example. Based on that, it's going to show you what are the best person that you may match with, right? And again, it's using machine learning. It's completely embedded. You don't know what is behind the scene. It's just like making the application smarter and making the KPI, the outcome, higher for them for Tinder. Of course, sometimes it's working. Sometimes it's not working. But it's machine learning. So I show you like some consumer application where you can see these capabilities. Now, what about you, right? Why not bringing the same type of capabilities inside any Salesforce applications? To be able to make your Salesforce application smarter and with more value for your end users. And so, it's not magic stuff. It's real. It's just mathematics. And so, as India Jones say, I'm a scientist, but a little bit. But it's just really about being able to bring this type of capabilities inside Salesforce. And that's why we have launched Einstein Discovery. So basically, Einstein Discovery is an application that allows business users to find trends on all their data, be able to crunch the multiple type of combination possible to uncover answers using machine learning technique. And so using this application as a business user, as an analyst, you will be able to uncover the story of your data. You will be able to uncover the correlation between your outcomes that you have defined and all the variables that may have an impact on this outcome. It's also going to show you like a story to explain this outcome. So not only is it going to give you like an R code if you want to use it, but really like a plain text story with graphic, with text, to easily understand what are the variables that are impacting your outcome. It's also, after the story, create a model behind the scene. And this is really where it becomes super interesting. Because then we can use this model to push back the result to Salesforce and be able, for every record that you have in your applications, be able to push prediction and prescription and explanation of this outcome. So this is Einstein Discovery, product is GA, and this is what I would like to show a demo about today. So to show you a demo, I took the Dreamhouse app. So I don't know how many people know Dreamhouse app. Very few actually. So Dreamhouse app is a demonstration application that you can see on developer.salesforce.com. Think about Redfin or Zillow. It's like a community that allow you to post your house with a characteristic and be able to share on a community and have people be able to pick it and see the different properties that are ours to sell. So let me switch to the demo now. So I'm on my Dreamhouse application here, so I can see the properties, I can see the brokers, and stuff like that. So what will be great if I can predict the most important KPI when you want to sell a house? What is that? The most important things when you want to sell your house? The price, yes. You want to predict how much you will get from your house, right? So this is exactly what I did inside this demonstration. So let me go to properties and select a house. So here you can see number of bathroom, number of bedroom, where it is, the city, and so on, and so all the characteristics. And what you can see here is Einstein Discovery widget. So inside this widget, what we are showing? We are showing what is the predicted price for this house based on the characteristics that we found. But not only that, we are also showing the reason why we think the price is going to be $206,000. Because the asset value, the value coming from the city, is between this range. Because the realtor is Caldwell. Because number of bedrooms and the asset value, and because of other factors. So not only we are going to provide you the price, but also a full explanation of why we think this is the price. What is also even more interesting here is we are going to show you how can you improve the outcome. How can you act and make the price better? And for that, you can see that, if I renovate the kitchen, most probably I will be able to sell the house 20,000 more. If I renovate the bathroom, 7,000. If I change realtor to a better one for this type of house, I may get also 1,000. So here, I like to do work, so I will just renovate the kitchen. Hop, save. And so now, by changing the properties of the record inside Salesforce, I'm going to get a new predictions that is taking in account this new capability, this new characteristic. So I just refresh the page. And now you can see the house is estimated to $226,000. And again, leading cause has been updated based on the new characteristic. So now you can see it's a little bit different. Also, you can see how to improve this has changed. Because I took an action, it's not the same now. It's a little bit different. So I show you a little bit the outcome. This is the value we are providing. You can embed prediction inside Salesforce for, as you can see here, predicting the selling price. But we can do any type of use cases because it's a platform. Now the question is, how did I create this model? How I was able to do this inside Salesforce? Did I use the data science people? Did I have to crunch math very hardly? Not really. What I did is I went to Einstein Discovery to create the model and the story behind it. For this, let me go to Einstein Discovery using the app switcher. And here I'm going to create the story to be able to do these predictions. For that, first step is to get your sample data, your training data, all the house that you sold previously with all the characteristics and the selling price. For that, you can see I can my data from multiple sources, but here in this example, I'm going to go from Salesforce. The object I'm looking at is properties, because it's where all the characteristics are stored. Now I'm just going to select the different characteristics I want to include in my model, in my story. City may be interesting. I remove the date, they don't really. Then up, the price, of course, the realtor, if I renovate the kitchen or not, state, status, and hop, I copy the data. So now I'm going to copy the data to Einstein Discovery for further analysis. But before to create the story, the thing I'm going to do, and the thing the tool is going to help me with, is to clean my data. Because as we know, everywhere all the data are clean and perfect, or not. It depends, right? Not really. So here again, the Einstein Discovery is going to push you an analysis on how can I help you to make your data cleaner. So here, it told me basically the name of the house. All are different. So it's not really interesting to create a model. So I can just drop the column. Also, what it's telling me is there is some cities where I have very, very few data points. So I cannot really create a story on that because then, I don't have enough data pretty much to do that. And so, statistically speaking, is just going to look at all this value and be able to propose you a way to improve it. Just taking this account, is advising account, and now I'm importing the data. Now I will be able to see all the different columns that I have available to me, and I will be able to do some further down transformation if I want. I can see access value, bath, bedroom, city, and stuff like that. One interesting thing is, because I want to get my trend data, I just want to have house that has been sold, so where the status is closed. So again, very simply, I can remove every other house. I click apply, and this will clean and have my training set data available for me. Now I can create my story. So what do I want to do? I want to maximize the price of the house. What are the actionable variables? What kind of action I can take to make the price higher? I cannot really change the city of the house, right? The city is in this city, so I cannot really change that, but I can change the realtor. I can renovate kitchen and bathroom. So here you can select a possible variable you can act on. Here you can see he also proposed me to remove the extreme value if I want. So just to keep like the most, again, to remove the outstanding, the house that is really expensive, very rare, that will not really make your story really interesting. And here I can create the story. So here now it's going to crunch all the combinations, and it's going to basically go over every combination of variable to find really what are the correlation between all the column I digest and my outcome, which is price, in very automatic fashion. And it's going to check if statistically what we found is relevant. Again, we don't want to mislead you with the wrong assumptions. What also is interesting here is you saw I did not provide any domain knowledge. It's not like a real estate applications. I'm not in the real estate business. It's an application which is a platform. So you can basically analyze any outcome that you want in your organization. If you want to optimize, for example, opportunity amount, if you want to optimize CSAT of the cases, if you have created custom object with specific outcome like here, you can do this using Einstein Discovery because it's completely agnostic of the use case. So now the story is still looking at, and it's ready now. Up. So here's the story I've just created. And here again, what you can see is we have generated graph and text about what are the columns that are driving your outcome, which is the price. Of course, the assess value is a big driver for the price of the house because it's done by the city. But then after, you can see more interesting pattern, like assess value when the bedroom is between 2 and 3. Or for example, and you can go on like this, like all the different patterns that we have found, and the system have found that explain you really what are the driver for the price of the house. But I can ask question also. So for example, I can say, okay, what happened when I renovate the kitchen? So it's really like I have a data science person side to you. I can say, okay, so when I renovate the kitchen, here's a different pattern we have found. One pattern we have found is when you are selling the house yourself and you have renovated the kitchen, actually is not so great because the selling price is lower than average. I can go to others. So for example, here, when I'm using this specific realtor, it's the same. Renovating the kitchen is not so great. It's basically going to, they are not going to be able to increase as high as the other. So you can see like all the different outcome like that, and you can really ask question. But you can do more than that, not just to have like what happened with my outcome of my pricing. I can also have the answer of why. Why, for example, when I'm selling my house myself and I renovate the kitchen, why the average pricing is lower than average? Here, if I click, I can see, oops. I can see the waterfall chart of these structures. And here is going to list me all the different variables that are going to have an impact on this outcome. So here, for example, I can see that usually in average, when I renovate the kitchen, it's a great thing. It's going to add some money to my sale. And if I renovate the kitchen and I'm using the Realtor Codewell bunkers, it's also great. But if I renovate the kitchen and I sell it myself, you can see that in average, it's going lower. So you can see like really all the different factors that are going to impact and why is going to impact them. What is interesting here also is we are providing the R code behind the scene. So here, if you want to run this R code on your own machine, if you want to crunch the numbers in the same way that we did, you can go there and you can copy over this code and do it on your own. We want to be open and about what we are doing here. Finally, I can also do simulations. And the simulation here is exactly what you saw in the demo, right? When I say, OK, I have 2-bedroom. I'm going to sell it myself. And I'm going to be in San Francisco. And here, this is going to predict you again what we predict as a selling price with these following parameters. And this, again, is exactly what I show you here in these demonstrations when we are doing simulation and be able to bring back this result to Salesforce. So that was a demo about it's kind of an example of Einstein Discovery in action to predict the price of the house. Now, this is great, but what we would like to do today is for you to be able to create the same demo as I show you here. And for that, I would like to invite Katie to show you what are the steps for that.
Thanks, Francois. All right, so I'm going to help break Francois's demo down in just 5 steps. So I'm going to take you through registering for an Einstein Discovery trial org, installing some of the packages like the Dreamhouse app and the Einstein Discovery Write Back package. We're going to show how to create a story and do some light configuration, and finally wrap it up with creating a flow via Process Builder. So let me get back into the org. So if you guys haven't already checked out the Einstein Discovery Basics trail on Trailhead, it's a really great place to start your Einstein Discovery journey. Over in the second module, you'll actually find a link to help you get set up with your own Einstein Discovery instance. So here's the registration page. You can fill out some of your login credentials, and you can get up and running really quick. For today, I already have that instance spun up. So I'm going to log into my Trailhead instance. And I've already created the same story that Francois was just showing around properties. Let me refresh this. There we go. So I have my property story all ready to go. And I also have my developer org ready to go, my dream house. OK, so in my developer org, I've already installed the Dreamhouse app and the Einstein Discovery Managed package. And let's just go check those out in my installed packages. So I have my Dreamhouse app, and this is going to give me the bones of what I need to create this demo with, like the objects and the custom fields that you saw. And then I have my Einstein Discovery Write Back connector right here, which is going to help pull back in those insights to my Salesforce org. So let's take a closer look at this. And let's open up the components so we can see what's going on. You can see in this package that we have a few Apex classes and custom fields that were installed. And there's actually only one place that we need to do some configuration, and it's this custom setting right here. So when I click Manage, I want to create a new set of data for this custom setting. And I see a few blanks that I have to fill out here. Francois, can you help me out? There's some commentary field name, outcome field name. What is this referring to?
You need to create a custom field, on the
That's
property
right.
object.
OK, so this is on the side component that
you're
showing.
exactly.
Great. All right, so let me go back to my object manager and go back to my property object, because Francois says I need to create some more custom fields that are going to hold my Einstein predictions. So I'm going to create 3 fields. The first one is going to be a number field for my predicted price. And I'll call this my Einstein outcome. Great. Don't forget to set the visibility. And then my second field is going to be a rich text field, which is going to hold my drivers. So my Einstein leading causes that are going to lead to tell me why I got that predicted price. And then last but not least, I need one more field to hold my prediction. So whether I should do a renovated kitchen or a renovated bathroom, this field is going to hold that. All right, so now I have my 3 fields created. And so let me go back to my custom setting and plug those in where necessary. So going back to my Einstein Discovery right back, I'm going to name this properties because that's the object that I want to set it on. My commentary field name was my leading causes. My object was property underscore C. Notice that I am doing all API names. And make sure you spell things correctly. And then the last few blanks are just around my Trailhead Einstein Discovery instance. So let me go back here and grab my analysis ID, and I can do that by clicking on the down caret, checking out About Story, and I can see this is analysis ID number 2. And I'm also going to want to grab the host URL, so this is trailhead.std.salesforce.com. So I'm going to change this to Trailhead, put in my analysis ID, and my username and password for the org. And I think I'm all set. So I save that custom setting, and now my write back is actually finished for me. All my insights from my Einstein Discovery org are able to be pulled back into my Salesforce org. But we're not quite done yet, because Francois showed us that we were able to get specific insights for each property record on the record detail page. So for that, we actually have to create a trigger. So let's go find our property object one more time, and we're going to go look at the triggers. I actually have this set property prediction trigger already here, and let's zoom in a little bit so we can see this. This is an after insert, after update trigger, so anytime a new property is added or one is updated, this chunk of code is going to be fired. And in the body of this trigger, what's happening is we're grabbing our custom configuration name properties, and then using some Apex classes, we're grabbing that field set that we just defined. Next, we entered in this double for loop. So for every property that's new or updated, we're going to go ahead and grab the field and the field value and put them in an array. And then we're going to send that array along with the config name to our prediction model, which makes an asynchronous call, and it pulls in those predictions to our custom objects on the property field object. So all I need to do is activate this trigger. So let me save that. And now, this is the true test. Let's go back to our Dreamhouse app. And I'm going to check out my properties. Let's see if my fields are there. Yep. So now to trigger the trigger, I'm going to hit edit and save this, which will be an update to this record. And now from our trigger, it's grabbing all these fields. And when I refresh this page, we should have, we're all using the same internet here, so connection could be a little slow.
it's a scary step, when if there is like any field names that don't match up, then it's
So hopefully we're not having an internet issue here. Oh, there we go. It just took a second. Internet's slow at these conferences. But after a few refreshes, I can see that I have my predicted price and my Einstein leading causes and predictions populated on this page. So that's really awesome. Maybe one last thing I want to do is add a process builder to this. Maybe trigger an action once we hit a certain
which is really cool
predicted
because
price.
now that the field and prediction is inside Salesforce, you can build like business processes using flow, process builders, trigger, Apex class to say like, oh, for example, if we are predicting that this is going over like 250K or under 1 million, I may want to reach out my customers, propose him additional service, VIP treatment, and stuff like that. So really be able to drive process based on this prediction using the Salesforce platform is really, really powerful.
Yeah. So I have this process builder kind of already started. I'm on my property object. And just like Francois said, I'm going to set something if the predicted price is over 275K. So this is our Einstein outcome field. If that's going to be greater than or equal to 275, then I want to take an action, and maybe I want to post to Chatter. I want to post on this record and just say, hi, predicted price. Please notify the seller. There we go. And all I have to do is activate this. And now let's go check out if this is going to work. I'll go to a new property, our 121 Harbor Walk. And again, I'm going to go ahead and update this. And our trigger in the background is making that asynchronous call. It's grabbing my number of bedrooms, my number of bathrooms, the assessed value, and sending that back to our prediction model from the story that we just created. And I have some new prediction. So Einstein is actually saying that my new price, or my predicted price, is going to be 281,000. So that definitely meets our threshold. And let's switch over to the Chatter feed to see if our process builder worked. And I see my new Chatter message. So what do you think, Francois?
I think it's pretty awesome.
Yeah, did you get all that?
Yes. Like all this stuff has been done like real time, right?
Yeah, this is all real time. I built this
all
in
real
10
time.
minutes.
I don't think they understand that. That's why they are like, oh, sure, yeah, no. It's
no magic
real
here.
time.
But if you didn't catch everything that we just walked through today, all these instructions and steps that I just went through are actually on the help page for Salesforce. So going through installing the managed package, setting up your custom fields, and even the Apex trigger code is available for you right here. So you guys can go home and build this exact same POC when you leave today.
Or even a better demo if they want to.
Or even better.
Yes. Sure, you can do better.
All right.
So I think we have 2 slides to finish. Up. So if you want to know more about Einstein, you have the Einstein Discovery Center just there, where we do like 15-minute session of all the Einstein different products. And of course, you saw on the Trailhead, if you want to create your own org, you go to trailhead.salesforce.com. You search for Einstein Discovery Basic, and you will be able to create your own org, go over some exercise. So it's really like all the content that you want to know to be able to start with the product. And with that, session is over. Thank you very much for your attention. Thanks.
Thank you.
Thank you.